box unless Ms. Neville asks you to. Okay, so the stratosphere. This is where we're getting started today. Oops. We're going to start talking about the stratosphere. We're going to start talking about the stratosphere, its purpose, and its composition. When you see that word composition, it's important that you know that Ms. Neville's referring to composition means what this layer is made of. That's what composition means. You do not have to draw this picture yet. You'll need to write down what you see here in black and red. So when we're talking about the stratosphere, it's important for us to know its purpose. We need to know, please write this down, we need to know that the stratosphere is the second layer of Earth's atmosphere. It's at a higher altitude than the troposphere. For example, put your hands up. Earth, troposphere, stratosphere. Yeah, that stratosphere is the second layer higher from our Earth. It's extremely important because this is where our ozone layer is located. You may have seen the ozone layer, news about the ozone layer on TV. You may have heard about it before, maybe even read some books or watched some cartoons about the ozone layer. It's extremely important because of the purpose it serves for us who live on Earth. We want to make sure we know that the compositions, what makes up our ozone layer, this is its composition. It's made up of something called greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases. When I say greenhouse gases, these are gases that come together that absorb and reflect, that means lets it bounce back, gases that absorb and, oh no, I hit a button. Okay, here we go. This means composition. And greenhouse gases absorb and reflect ultraviolet, or UV is what some of your research is going to say, ultraviolet radiation from the sun. Please take some time to write that down. Hey, I'm teaching. Yep, sorry.
That's okay.
It's okay.
You do your thing.
Okay. Okay, Miss Neville is about to go on. So the stratosphere and the ozone layer. Where we're going to pick up in our notes on Monday, please write this down. You will have to draw this picture. We're going to label this picture today. You'll want to write down in your notes the ozone layer, the question, what is the purpose of our ozone layer? What is the purpose of our ozone layer? And Ms. Neville's going to label this picture for you today. Okay? So we see here, of course, this is our Earth. You want to make sure you label our Earth. Okay? You don't have to draw these factories, buildings, trees, mountains, and cars here. That's not necessary. It is important for you to know that this entire green layer here is our troposphere. Yeah, that's what we were studying all week this week as we talked about the water cycle and altitude, air pressure, temperature. We talked about that troposphere. Remember, it's important because it has gases that help keep us living, and that's where all weather occurs. With the stratosphere, that's going to be our blue layer here. Well, technically, it's both of these layers. Remember, I'm recording this lesson, so if you don't have time to draw this picture completely right now, that's okay. At the very top, at the upper part of our stratosphere, is the ozone layer. And the ozone layer has a really important job because the ozone layer absorbs, blocks, and reflects. We'll talk about what reflects means in a second. Harmful, not harmful, for Miss Neville. UV, ultraviolet radiation, from the sun. Harmful UV radiation from the sun. And you see some blocking and reflecting happening right here. What we want to draw in our picture over here is this is where our sun is. And we see that radiation coming from the sun, being emitted from the sun. What we see happening here is some of that radiation is being blocked. That means it's being stopped. That radiation, if it were to reach us, all of that radiation, we would burn to death. So what the ozone layer does is block that UV radiation and it reflects it. Reflecting UV radiation means it bounces it back into the outer space, So when we're talking about that ozone layer, it's extremely important because it keeps us from burning to death, okay? So that ozone layer is extremely important. We're going to pick up here tomorrow, on Monday, okay? You want to make sure that you're working on, your assignments about the greenhouse effect. You're going to learn a lot about it with Tim and Moby. You're going to complete a movie quiz and I think a worksheet on that. And as soon as you get it done on Brain Pop, I'm able to see that grade. And you should start seeing that grade maybe tomorrow night in the grade book. Okay? If you have any questions, please email me before 5 o'clock today.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Miss Neville,